Hi, my name is Mitch Gage and I'm staying in front of the 1913 building. Today I'm going to be taking you through the middle school and elementary school and describing all of the problems with it and why we need a new school building. Okay, so this is one of our newer classrooms, and as you can see there are no windows in here and it's kind of small. So there's no natural lighting and it's kind of cramped in here. And not to mention, our ceiling's falling apart, and that's not very cool. And as you can see over here, we have a dehumidifier running, and some of these rooms have dehumidifiers 24/7, and that shouldn't be happening in a new school room. Okay, so this is our auditorium, which is supposed to be sort of fairly new. It seats about 400 right now, and one thing about this is the stage is very small and limits you. Like these walls here kind of cut off how much we can do, and our lighting and effects are not the best, I would say. They're supposed to be fairly new, but they're really not. And we have a lot of problem with microphones and things like that. Backstage is also very cramped back there when we have any kind of program. And so it's very hard to fit as many people as we do have for like choir and band and other activities onto this stage for it to actually go well. So, and it's starting to smell really bad and moldy, so I'm gonna move on now. Okay, so this is our choir room, and as you can see, it's also very small. For choir rooms nowadays, they're really much larger. It's about probably double this size. And so it's really hard to fit so many kids that we do have in these programs in this place, and especially when the high school comes down for other activities, like to perform in the auditorium. We usually use this room to store everything and stay in, and it gets really cramped in here because we have about 100 or so people cramming into one small space. So moving on now. Oops, just finished. Well, as you can see, this bathroom looks really old, and it is functional, but the floor is pretty old. This is another bathroom that's a little bit dated, and as you can see, there's a lot of water damage on the walls, and the floors, once again, are really old. It is functional, but it needs to be repaired. Okay, so in this hallway, you see all this exposed ductwork and these older lockers that no one actually really uses anymore. And so we also have these ramps, and one thing is that people have said that we have really long hallways or things like that and wasted space. So one thing at the new building, we would try to accommodate anyone with these ramps and other things, and not have it be an afterthought. So now we're in the 1913 building, and as you can see, these hallways are much older, and the floors are getting damaged, and they are creaking a little bit also. And so one of these things about this hallway are the older doors, and you'll see on some of them the transoms, and so now those are considered fire hazards, like this one up here, and so those all need to be replaced. Also, these doors aren't really practical. If someone wanted to break in, it'd be easier to get through the door than they would at the high school with our newer doors. And so that's why we also need this new building. So this is one of our classrooms, and as you can see, it's really cramped inside, and it doesn't allow for many kids to fit in here and actively learn. And so most classrooms nowadays are 25% larger than this one. And so that's one thing that will be happening at this new building. Also, you see these desks in rows, and I ask you, is that actually how kids learn best nowadays? Okay. So this is one of our smaller rooms that one of our teachers use, and it's about 12 by 15. And now just imagine about 11 or 12 different children or teenagers in here at one time, and think about how difficult that could be to maintain and actually actively learn. So now we're going to walk down some really long and really convoluted hallways. And as you can see, a lot of this stuff is also very exposed, like all these boxes and piping down these hallways. And if I were a kid still going here, I would be very frightened. Okay, so this is the main stairwell here, and from the main entrance of the school till the elementary wing, we have to go up and down stairs no matter what. So that can really make it difficult for like many classes going at one time, going up and down these stairs, and it tends to get crazy in here. So. Now isn't this ironic? Notice handicap accessible restroom, 2 elevator. So if I were some little kid over here that had a disability or was in a wheelchair or had anything serious like that, I would have to take an elevator all the way up and over to get to a restroom. Now to me that seems pretty silly and also very difficult for the kid. Now I'm still trying to find this handicap accessible restroom, and it's been a little while, so we'll get there soon. Gee, I am still trying to find that bathroom. So this is where we store our playground equipment necessarily and other things, and so it's really small for things. And also look at this groovy carpet. I mean, so retro. So these are some of our preschool rooms over in the elementary building, and as you can see, it's kind of a smaller preschool room. You might think it's nice, but if you try to fit 20 or so little tiny preschoolers in here, it can get pretty crazy. Now keep in mind this size compared to the one over by the gym that we will see later. Also, if you notice, these bathrooms are also not the greatest for little kids. And so, and this is, oh, yep. And then if you also see this storage area, I mean, how do they get up here? I honestly don't know. You're probably going to have to stack how many chairs on top of each other just to get up there into those storage area. I thought this one was it, but it wasn't. Okay, so this is one of the bathrooms down in the elementary wing area, and as you can see, we have pipes being exposed that look like they've been fixed up over time. And also, we see this lovely manhole over here that I just love, and so I just wonder how, safe that is, to be honest, for, little kids. If I wanted to, I could probably open it up and just climb out in there. I mean, it just wouldn't be safe. So this was the outside of the older building that we had, and so this was just all added on to it. Good thing there's that smoke detector, because up there you see the wooden floors that support most of the 1913 building, where all the floors are creaking and slowly sinking. So there's another one of those weird heaters. And so I also really like these fine pieces of wood on this door. I mean, just look at it. It's just a beaut. And then there's more pipes that I could just hang on if I wanted to, but I'm not going to. So this is the STEM lab, which stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math. And so this is, although this is not a regular classroom type deal, it is designed to help kids with problem solving and hands-on learning. And so this is kind of one of the ways of our future, in a way. And so this will all be also happening at our new building and the high school as well. Alright, so this concludes the end of our tour. So thank you all for watching, and please vote. The goal of this was to help keep our citizens aware of how our facilities at the school district are doing. And so thank you for watching.